Pokemon Yellow, but I have to use Red's Manga team. So I started with the Poliwrath, because he had a Poliwrath to start. And then next up is the rival fight. And, well, just because I have a Poliwrath so early on, I kind of wrecked him with a few body slams. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting run to say least. Even though I should have a Poliwhirl, I messed up to the Poliwrath, but whatever. This is good enough, right? Alright, then I got then for agreed to help Professor Oak, I got a Bulbasaur. Then I caught a Pikachu, named Pika, and Bulbasaur's named Soar, and Poliwrath's name is Poly. Like I said, these are real names from the manga, by the way. I'm not making these up. Also famous in the manga. A fucking Ekans got chopped in half. Alright, Brock's up. And since I have Soar, a few Violent Whips did it in. I don't know why people like Gen 1 challenges so much. Gen 1's an easy-ass game. Like, dude, Gen 4 is probably one of the, like, especially Platinum. Platinum's probably one of the hardest games to challenge run. Black and White, it's alright, but whatever. And I'm talking like this because Brock's fight's not actually just Violent Whips. I got to grant. And then I bought a Magikarp and named it, Gyra. And yes, like I said, a real name. And now Justine James. This is only in it because, they were in the anime, and well, Poliwrath disposes of all their 3 Pokemon pretty easily. You know, I like the Black and White anime, and they kicked ass in the Black and White anime. That's why I love it so much. Like, say what you want about it, but Iris and whatnot, and how annoying she is or whatever, but I truly did like it, though. But that's just my opinion. Alright, Braille by time. Spear goes down to 2 Thunder Shocks. Next up is Sandshrew. Switch out to Soar. A Vine Whip did it in. Well, 2 Vine Whips did it in. Next up is his, Rattata. I stay in, just keep going, just go for 2 Vine Whips, taking it out. And last up is his Eevee. I switch out to Poly, just go for a few body slams. So yeah, this is getting fun. Alright, next up is Misty. I lead off Pikachu. Thunder Shock brings our Starmie to red. No, Thunder Shock takes it out. Next up is Starmie. I use Thunder Wave to lower its speed, so it doesn't tackle that much. Then I start going for Thunder Shock. I get 2 Thunder Shocks. She uses X defend. And the Thunder Shock, she's paralyzed. Now Thunder Shock takes it out with a crit. You know, the crit didn't matter at that point. Whatever. Alright, next up is the next route fight, and I'm a bit overwhelmed because I battled all the trainers in the SSN because I like the XP. Alright. So it's kind of a sweep really, since I have my Pikachu kind of sweeps through most of his team besides Sandshrew, which I switch out to Soar and use, and I actually hit Tackle when I meant to go to a Vine Whip, and then hit Leech Seed on accident, and then I go for Vine Whip, taking it out one shot. And last up is his Eevee. I stay in and just go for Vine Whips. It goes for Sand Attack. Get 4 Vine Whips to take it out, but I missed one of them. Yeah, that's fun. And that's blue. Alright, next up is Surge. I lead off with Ivysaur. I go for Vine Whip. Not doing too much, so I decided to go for a Leech Seed as it goes for Growl. Then but I just keep Vine Whipping down, so it keeps growling me down, but Vine Whip special, so it's, you know, Grass types are special in this game. With Vine Whip and Leech, I was actually able to take it out with just Soar. Pretty good, 3 levels under too, which is dope. Alright, next up is Erica. I go for Dragon Rage on my Gyarados to take out her Tangela. I go for Dragon Rage on her Weeping Bell. Take it out. The last steps are Gloom's had to stay and go for a Dragon Rage as it kills me with Mega Drain. I send out Venusaur. I go for Razorleaf for crits, then I decide just to tackle it down, and I eventually do tackle it down as she heals. I don't know why I went to Venusaur. I could have gone to literally any other Pokemon I had, but whatever. Alright, next up is Giovanni, but since I have a Grass type, and Giovanni's mostly Ground type Pokemon, I Razorleaf through his entire team. First start off with his Onix, then his Rhyhorn, and then his Rhyhorn goes down one Razorleaf as well. Then his Persian, it puts up a bit of a fight just because I had nothing super effective against it yet. But I took it down pretty easily. Yeah. I guess I am playing Pokemon Yellow, which is kind of an easier version of Red and Blue in a way. Just because they made it more like the anime in a way, I guess. Except, you know, your rival Gary/Blue didn't have like Eevee as a starter. But whatever. Alright, speaking of Rival Fight, next is up. His Spearow gets one-shot by Thunderbolt. Next up is Magnemite. I have to be able to actually do, because Madden did against Magnemite. Magnemite's only electric temperature, so I decided to stay in just Thunderbolt it down. A few Thunderbolts take it out. Next up is a Shelter. I decided to stay in, go for Thunderbolt to one-shot it. Next up is Sandshrew. I switch out to Soar. I go for Razorleaf. And the last up is his Eevee. I think this is the last fight he has an Eevee before he evolves it. And I think it's gonna be Flareon because I didn't like battle him for the second time. I beat him once. I go for Submission because I bought the TM from Celadon, and I take it out one shot. Alright, Rock Grunts, Justine James again. Razorleaf one shots Meowth. Next up is their Arbok. I decided to go for Bubble Beam on Gyarados to one-shot it. Next up, they're Weezing. Decided to stay in. Bubble Beam reaches a half. Nope. Another one because of the red. Next one takes it out. Then I caught a Snorlax from the Poke Flute, and I named it Snore. I am not making these nicknames up, by the way. I wish I was. To be fair, though, I can't even fucking point fingers, because I can't do nicknames either. Alright, Silph Curve have a fight. Stage gets taken down by one Bubble Beam. Cloyster gets taken down by 2 Thunderbolts. Next up's Magneton. I decided to send in Snorlax to do the Amnesia tricks. Amnesia is basically 2 Calm Minds this game, and I psych it down as Pokemon. Next up's Kadabra. 2 Thunderbolts did it in. Last up's his Flareon, and Psychic did it in, but he got me stuck in a Fire Spin. Yeah, he was able to take me read 2 health, but Psychic took it out. Alright, next up is Jesse and James. 2 Bubble Beams take out their Weezing. Next up is their Arbok. I decided to stay on. I go out to Venusaur, and I start tackling it down. Then I took it out. Then last up is their fucking Meowth. So I decided to stay in, and I go for Mega Drain to get health back. Mega Drain gets to 24%, now the Mega Drain takes it out. Next up is Giovanni. I'll lead off with Poliwrath, who's off Nidorino. 2 Body Slams did it in. My first one paralyzes it too, which is nice. Next up is Persian. Decided to stay in. I go for Submission, but I flinch as a bite. I go for Submission again, and then I take it out. Next up is his Rhyhorn. I stay in. I go for Water Gun, one-shot it. Next up is his Nidoqueen. Decided to stay in. I just go for Water Gun. Not doing too much damage, so I swapped over to Body Slam. Now doing a bit more damage, I take it out. Next up is Sabrina, but I'm severely underleveled. But I decided to Amnesia up with Snorlax on her Abra. Then I start Thunderbolting and Ice Beam her team down. After I missed, I think she flashed me. I took out Abra. Then I started missing Ice Beams again. She recovers. I was actually able to take out the Kadabra, but because of the fucking accuracy droppings, I could barely even hit them. I did give out to Kadabra. Next, I sent out Gyarados. I started using for Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam dropped Kadabra's speed. I go for Bite, taking out. Last steps are Alakazam. I go for a Bite, takes out Gyarados. I send out Poliwrath. I go for Body Slam. Another Body Slam takes it out. And I won against him with the fucking Fire type. Alright, next up's Koga. Well, same thing. Amnesia, then I psych it through his entire team. And I don't know why he has 3 Venonats and a Venomoth. He had a Golbat in the anime. Also, fun fact. Koga's is one of the 2 gym leaders that Ash actually beat legitimately in the Kanto anime. The season 1 of the anime one. Whatever you want to say. So yeah, then I gave a fossil to this fucker. And then I go battle Blaine. Because it takes a bit of time. Alright, Blaine's up. I go for Bubble Beam. I lead off with Gyarados for Bubble Beam, but confused me with Ninetales. I gotta go for a Hydro Pump. But I missed my first Hydro Pump. I go for Hydro Pump again, as it's a quick attack, and Hydro Pump kills it with critical. Yeah, Gyarados gets a lot of crits because it's fast. That's how that works, Gen 1. Next up's Rapidash. I decided to stay in. And I go for a Hydro Pump again, taking out 1 shot. And last up is his Arcanine. Tries to have a Magmar like the anime. Then I go for a Hydro Pump to take it out. That's nice. Alright, next up is... I get the fossil back. It was Aerodactyl. I named it Arrow. Real name, by the way. And that's my team. Also, fun fact. You get to... In the manga, you get the Gyarados from Misty. Giovanni time. I fly as he digs. You know, we kind of fight each other. Then I eventually do take out his Dugtrio with the takedown. And since I did... The next up is his Persian. I swapped out into Poly. I go for Submission. To one-shot it. But taking some recoil damage. Next up is Nidoqueen. I switched out to Gyarados. I go for Hydro Pump. I miss. But he also misses. I go for Hydro Pump and I one-shot it. Next up is Nidoking. I go for Hydro Pump as this Nidoking goes for Thunder. Then he goes for a Guard Effect after. Then Hydro Pump takes it out. Next up is Rhydon. And I go for Bubble Beam to take it out in 1 shot. That was Giovanni. Alright, Railify time. It was off a Sand Slash, it off Poly. 2 Water Guns take out a Sand Slash. Next up, Execute. I don't know why. I hit no. Stay in. I'm gonna swap out to Arrow as he paralyzes a poison Pokemon to be fair. I guess he sees what I'm doing beforehand. I go for Fly and 1-shot his Execute. Next up is his Cloyster. I decided to switch out to Pika. 2 Thunderbolts did it in. A Thunderbolt did it in. Next up is Magneton. I decided to go to Soar. And I go for Razor Leaf. Crit does half, and Razor Leaf takes it out. Next up is Kadabra. I switched into Arrow. I go for Flies, he goes for Psychic. A Fly one-shots it. Last up is his Flareon. I decided to send out Gara. I go for Hydro Pump and one-shot it. Alright, Elite Four time. First off, Lorai, 2 Thunderbolts that are Dugong in. Next up is Cloyster, Thunderbolt one-shot it with a crit. Next up, Slowbro, Thunderbolt one-shot it with a crit. Next up, Jinx, I decided to stay in and go for Mega Punch and a quick attack, but it takes me out. I send out Aerodactyl, a Fly one-shots it. Unless it's Lapras, I send out a Polly, I go for Submission, 2 submissions take it out as I get paralyzed from Body Slam. That's fun. Bruno next. Onyx is one-shot by Rosalie. Next up, Hitmonchan. I send Nero, Fly, brings it to red. I go for Fly again, I take it out. Next up, Hitmonlee, I go for Fly, and a one-shot with a crit. Onyx is up again, I send out a Sword, Rosalie who's out Onyx. Last up, Machamp, I send out Pika on accident. Break down red health with Thunderbolt, then a Fly takes it out. Alright, I got the time. As she substitutes, I start Amnesia and then I go for Psychic to get the substitute, but then she sets up another substitute. I go for Psychic again, take it out. It's then after her first Gengar, I just sweep her entire team with Psychic. So yeah. Not that bad. To be fair though, what I'm doing is pretty overpowered. Alright, Lance is up next, and I forgot once you go in there, it all throws you in there, so I'm leading with Snorlax instead of Pikachu on Gyarados. So the Pikachu, take a Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt, one-shots it. Next up's Dragonair, I throw out Snorlax, start Amnesiaing up as it paralyzes me. Then I go for Ice Beam to one-shot it. Next up is our Dragonair, Ice Beam one-shots it. Next up is Aerodactyl, it goes for Fly, Ice. Then brings 16 of Ice Beam one-shots, lets up Dragonair, I stay in, I get taken out. Then I send out Gyarados, I go for a Hyper Beam. I miss, but a Hyper Beam brings it to half as it hits me with Thunder. Then 2 in a Body Slam takes it out. Alright, champion time. Razor Leaf one-shot to Sand Slash like always. Next up, Alakazam, go for Fly, bring it to red. Another Fly brings it to red, and another Fly takes it out. Guess for Executor, I stay in, go for Fly, almost kill it, go for Fly again, then I crit it with a crit. Next up is his Magneton, I go for Solar Beam and one-shot it. Next up is Cloyster, I go for Solar Beam and one-shot it. Then last up is his Flareon, I send out Polly, and I go for Water Guns, and a Body Slam, taking it out. And that was a Manga team.